My game of the year for 2019 was Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This is a great game for a number of reasons, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. You're going to find a lot to enjoy here. I would say it's the best single-player Star Wars game we've received since KOTOR. Not that there've been that many when you think about it. I mean, the last ones I would say were The Force Unleashed, which a lot of people enjoyed, but critically and universally was seen as a bit of a failure, and I agree with that. This, however, is a different beast entirely, and you can tell that the team really put the effort in, both in terms of the story and the level design and just the sense of fun that's in this game. There's a kind of a Metroidvania aspect of going back, and once you get some new powers, and you're kind of relearning powers as you go for story reasons, which you'll find out, and you develop a nice bond with this little droid on your back. He helps you in combat as well. He helps you with healing, and yeah, there's a great sense of that in this game. There's a great sense of love that's been put into it. A lot of people have problems with the main character. They find him a bit dull, a bit boring. I can kind of agree with that, but it's not so much a game about the main character, so for that I can forgive it. I mean, the most interesting thing about him is that he has red hair. Aside from that, he's just the generic white dude, which again, I don't really mind too much because the main villain is very strong, and you meet enough interesting characters to kind of make up for that. I would say the main story isn't the main pull of this game. It's really the exploration and discovering the new planets, building that sense of connection with your droid. You're on an adventure, and I think that's what this game really nails, is that sense of adventure, and that's, to me, what a Star Wars game always should be about. You have a ship, you have a crew, and you have an enemy, and you have a reason to fight. Yeah, that's what it is, and I guess the big thing with that, the reason to fight is the combat. And is that any good? Yeah, it's good in my opinion. It is a Dark Souls-ish. You lose your souls when you die. They're not souls, whatever. You lose your points if you die. You have to collect them again. One thing that is very good is that if you die, you lose your souls, but if you die again, the souls are still there. Whereas in Dark Souls, if you die again, they're lost. So there isn't a sense of difficulty as in a Souls game. Some of the enemies are difficult. The main one I had issues with was a mid-game boss. It took me about 10 or more tries. That was getting a bit frustrating. Aside from that, a lot of the game is fair, and I don't see as being a big challenge. However, if you're wanting to just kind of blow through the game and explore and get the story, I would recommend playing on easy. One of the other main issues, aside from the collectibles not kind of resonating too much in terms of you find a new color suit for your poncho or whatever. I think that could have been cooler if you found new like headgear and the customization was a bit more in depth. One of the other major issues is the performance of the game. I played on PS4 and I experienced a number of lag spikes and periods where you felt the game's engine kind of breaking under the pressure of the game. I think I had 1 or 2 hard crashes as well, and this is about 1 month after launch, so I was expecting that to be fixed, but there's still issues, and I'm assuming there is still issues. But in my opinion, the issues of this game do not outweigh the positives, and there's really not much more I could ask for as a Star Wars fan. It's not a KOTOR, but it's damn close. This hits basically everything you would want in a modern Star Wars game. You've got the cutscenes, you've got the epic set pieces, you've got the combat, you've got the lightsaber customization, which I won't even get into, but it is a huge part of the game, and exploring as well. You do get, that's probably the main positive of the collectibles, is the lightsaber parts you get, and you can really go very in depth with it. You can change the hilt, the color, the hilt guard, you can change pretty much everything. You can have a double-bladed lightsaber. You can have 2 lightsabers that break apart. You can have 1 lightsaber but then break it into 2. It's insane. The level of combat variety you can do in this game, especially towards the mid-game when you've found the double-bladed lightsaber, is staggering. They really put a lot of effort into making this feel like a game where you can approach almost any way you want. And, this game definitely has the best lightsaber combat since the Jedi Academy games, and you can see it draws heavily on that. It has more in common with the Jedi Academy games than it does Force Unleashed, which was more just hack and slash, whereas this is you're blocking, you're parrying. Not that I parried too much, I mainly rolled out the way, but it's more tactical. There's more of a interest in the combat, which is great. Aside from the performance issues and the few little issues I've stated, this is a great game and is why it is my game of the year. I really encourage anyone to play this. It's worth a full price pickup. It's especially worth it if you can get it cheap. cheap or on sale, you're laughing. You know, this is a 20-25 hour game, and it's one of those games where I just wanted more. You know, I'm left wanting more, and it does set up more, which I think is a good thing. I'd love to see more of the world and more of this type of game, absolutely.